My brother's family members kept dying, first his wife, then his son. I'm starting to think it wasn't just bad luck. It all began when my brother, Mark, lost his first wife, Sarah, in a tragic house fire. He was praised as a hero for saving their 2 children, but he claimed he couldn't reach Sarah because the flames were too intense. We all thought it was a heartbreaking accident, but then strange things kept happening, and my doubts started to grow. A few years later, Mark remarried a woman named Rachel, and they had a son together, Ethan. Life seemed peaceful for them, until one night, their barn went up in flames, killing Mark's prized horses. He called me, sounding devastated, saying he tried to save them but couldn't. I remember thinking, how could one person be so unlucky? After that, I noticed the tension between Mark and his oldest son, Jacob, from his first marriage. They argued often, and one day Jacob told me he couldn't understand why his dad saved him and his sister but not their mom. He remembered hearing her scream that night, and it haunted him. Then, the unthinkable happened. Mark called, frantic, saying, "Jacob's dead, the truck fell on him." Apparently, Jacob had been working on an old truck in their garage when it collapsed. Mark claimed he was out running errands at the time. Most people saw it as a freak accident, but I couldn't shake the feeling something was wrong. Why was Jacob even working on that truck? It hadn't been used in years. I couldn't ignore the suspicions any longer, so I started digging into Mark's past. That's when I found out he had recently taken out a large life insurance policy on Jacob, the same type of policy he'd taken on Sarah before her death. The pattern was disturbing. I confronted Rachel, and she admitted she'd been suspicious too, but felt trapped. Mark had policies on her and Ethan as well, and she was terrified of leaving. Together, we went to the police, and they set up a plan. Rachel wore a hidden recorder and confronted Mark about Jacob's death. At first, he denied everything, but eventually, he admitted to pushing the truck, calling it an opportunity. Mark is now in jail awaiting trial, and they're even reinvestigating Sarah's death. Rachel and Ethan are safe, but the horror of it all will haunt us forever. If you found out a loved one had done something like this, would you ever be able to forgive?